Okay, welcome everyone. We are so excited that you're here to check out the partner preview. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen and we're going to dive in. Well, here we go. Okay, can everybody see it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to tell you everything that we do as a body partner in this presentation, and we're going to tell you how this has been such an amazing opportunity for us to be able to change thousands of ladies' lives, but also to change our own. And so, just to give you a little overview of how this is going to go tonight, we want to be really respectful of your time. This is May, so it's extra busy for a lot of us, although I think as women, we're just always busy. So, we're keeping it about 30 minutes. If we have questions, we might do a few more. If you have questions tonight, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat. If you're watching the recording, or if you would prefer to ask your questions privately, you can reach out to the person who invited you and we'll be happy to answer those questions for you. So I have up here why become a body partner now. So hopefully you're familiar with body, but our mission is to help people live more fulfilling lives. And we do that through health and fitness, which is amazing to start anytime. But we have had a couple of changes lately in our corporate compensation plan that are more advantageous to newer partners. So that makes it a great time to get started. We also, within this little group here, we have created a mentorship that we continue to tweak each month because we want to make sure that if you get started with us, that you have a place that you belong, that you have information, that you have access to. One of the great things about this, though, about our mentorship program is that it is self-paced. Every single one of us here has to do things when it fits our family and when it hits our schedule, and you're the same way too. And so you will have all those tools and access available when it fits your schedule. So, should you take the leap of faith? And let me just say, this was a leap of faith for each of us. None of us grew up becoming wanting to become a body partner. A lot of us didn't know what network marketing was until 5, 7, 8 years ago. So it is a leap of faith. But I think maybe the better question might be, what if we hadn't? And so, what you're seeing on the screen right here, the five of us that are leading this tonight, these are our physical transformations. What I will tell you though is that behind anytime you see something like this, it's always what you gain. It's not so much what you lose. There's so much behind the story. And so a lot of us have shared our story in our Facebook group. If you haven't heard how we've gotten started with being a body partner, we'll guide you to that and you can check it out. But for time's sake tonight, we're just going to take a couple minutes each and just kind of think about what would happen if we hadn't. And you might be sitting there thinking, okay, well, but anytime you don't do something, there's also something that you're missing out on too. So I look at my transformation picture there, and I love that I was able to get healthy. But what I love even more is who's not shown in that picture, and that's my family. My family all got healthier when I started being a body partner. I had tried things in the past, little workout videos and stuff, and nothing really stuck. I was going to just eat healthier and tried online calculations and things, and it wasn't until I became a body partner I started helping other people. It really kind of became part of my identity, and my family started changing with me. And so I would say, if I hadn't decided to be a body partner, my family would have missed out on some of that as well. And also just the time that I get to spend. This is a crazy month, and I have been up at the school more than, I mean, I've been living in my car and being at school, but I've been able to do that because I can work wherever and whenever. And so those are just a couple of things I would have missed out on had I not said yes. So, Susan, you want to go next?
Yes, I thought I was further down, so I apologize. Remind me.
We can
Oh,
go
just
in
about my story.
we can go
I'm
in any
sorry.
order. I just saw your face
I'm
next on my
sorry.
screen.
I'm sorry. Hey, that just shows anybody can do this. But hey, yes, okay. So I'm with you now. All right. So I have been with Body for 5 years, and my story is I've always been into health and fitness. I was a runner, but I really hit a huge downfall in my late 50s, and my knees were swelling up. I was exhausted. I just felt stuck. I felt just like lukewarm about life, and I did not want that. And my coach that I'm with now, I just kept watching her and I just saw this twinkle in her eye, this new confidence about her, this passion for life. I could tell that her kids were not getting as sick very much. They were always getting sick and they were like on this healthy wellness streak. I could tell their finances were better. Her husband's a coach with my husband, a coach. So as coaches' wives, it's always tied on finances. And she kept just winning all these trips, which I love to travel, to the point where I finally went over and just said, Jody, whatever you're doing, I want to do it. I really didn't know much at all about body. I was against Shakeology. I had my own supplement that I just knew was the best. But thank goodness I was willing to do some research. And when I looked into Shakeology, when I looked into the community that came with this opportunity, it's been life changing for me. So now I am getting ready to retire, and it's so great to have something. So many women just lose they don't know what to do once they retire, or empty nest or whatever, they just lose who they are. And this is something that just keeps you driving. One of the best things about this is that we're always growing. We're always on a learning journey. We're always in this incredible community, like with these women tonight. And so it's just been life changing for me.
Well, it's a great bill. I see you next on my little thing here. Do you want to go next?
Sure. Let me just get my puppy out of the way. Okay, so I'm Melissa, one of the partners as well here, and I came into Body, which was known as Beachbody, back in 2016. And I like Susan's your description of lukewarm. I just felt lukewarm. I was wanting something more. I think I was in year 20 of my career as a nurse, and just we all know what happened in 2020. So I'm glad for this opportunity, because I was actually able to step away from that full-time, very stressful RN job because of Body. But also, more than that, I kind of was just in this rat race. Wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, do the bare minimum, go to bed, wake up, and do it all over again. And I just knew, at 42 years old, there had to be more to life than that. So I had come across a woman on social media who I did not even know. And she talked about leaving her 100-hour work weeks as a lawyer. And I thought, wow, if she can do that, I need to check this out. So very similar to what a call that we're on right now is what I jumped on. And I came into it. I was one of those rare people that come into it for the business. I know some people kind of evolve into that with the groups and the fitness challenge and the nutrition, but I knew I wanted to build a business in order to offset some of the salary of my RN job. And I was actually able to do that in 2022 when I stepped away from that full-time position. So while I love the fitness and the community of this whole entire process, it really was about a business for me. And so it's just a little brief synopsis of my story.
Let's French, you want to go?
I was like, do you want me to go? I'm probably the oddball. I really came into this for the Shakeology. And people might think that's really strange, but my health was really, really struggling at the time. I have lots of autoimmune issues, and my white count was critically low. And I knew my body needed something else. I had a very disordered eating past with anorexia and body image issues, and just my nutrition was really poor, depriving and eating and depriving. And so I had researched what was in Shakeology and knew that my body needed it. So I came into it for the Shakeology, had never tried any of the workouts when I started, but I wanted to earn a little bit of money in order to help offset the price of the Shakeology. So that was the beginning of mine. It has absolutely changed so much with my health. My fitness, I had never been in shape. I was always, so embarrassed of my body and stuff like that. So it was very much my own journey starting out. But I've fallen in love with the community. I've fallen in love with these ladies. And it has really, really given me purpose. We went through rough autoimmune issues with my son. It has taught my family how to eat healthy, kind of like Stacy said too, which has been unbelievable to watch. I thought they were probably too old when I joined. They're never too old, and they will still learn what you're doing. They're still watching even when they're teenagers. So my boys are both in college now, so they're grown. And now it has really, really given me purpose. Like, going from perimenopause to menopause is another rough transition. I thought here with all my autoimmune issues, that would be my only struggle, but I had not reached perimenopause yet. So reaching that, it has now given me the purpose of like helping other women. And I was very lost as my boys transitioned from middle school to high school to college and didn't need me as much. And now I feel like a strong sense of purpose again. I feel like I'm needed. There's other women out there that are going through this, that are going to be blindsided just like I was. And if I can prevent other women from feeling the way I did when my body started to change, um, it's such a great feeling. So that's kind of my story real quick.
So I'll share mine real quick. So I've been doing this almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in September, which is really crazy. But I started looking for workouts, just wanted to get fit from home, tried random things, nothing ever stuck, kind of like Stacy said. And I started a program and I instantly was hooked. And when my upline asked me if I wanted to look into this, I thought, sure, why not? It sounds fun. And quickly realized that, there's a big opportunity here if I really wanted to build some income. And at the time I was working, I'm a CPA, so I was doing taxes, and I would work full-time during tax season and as little as possible the rest of the year, because I want to be with my kids more than anything. I don't want to have to work outside the home, but that was needed at the time. And so that's what I was doing. But then when this opportunity came up, after working for a few months, I thought, I may try to like have this replace my income as a CPA. And so that was my goal. And I was able to do that. And I think it was about 2 years that I left that job and just came home and I started doing this full time on part-time hours, but as my only job. And I've picked up other things along the way, because this is something that you can do very part-time hours, but you can do other things you want to do. So like now I'm coaching volleyball, and during tax season, I do another online tax job from home, the hours I want to do, because I have the time for that. So it's really cool because it can just fit into whatever you want it to be in your life. But like the others said, it's helped my family get healthier. It's taught me how to feed my family in a healthy way. I had, always tried to be healthy for years, but never really had a system that helped me. And so by being a partner, it's forced me to take ownership of learning all of those principles and not just hopping around and trying to figure out the latest thing. It's just helped me really grasp onto something that lasts. So yeah. So I want to just encourage you to think about, what if it worked for you? I think a lot of times we may see people online and think, oh, that's good for her. That seems great, but I could never do that. But, if you knew each of us before we started, you would have been surprised that we're doing this now. And I mean, we would all say, like, me, however many years ago, would be shocked, because this is not something, like Stacey said, that we grew up wanting to do because we didn't know it was a thing. And I mean, when I had just one child and she was a baby and my husband was in the Army, I was looking for at-home opportunities. And this was a thing at the time, but I didn't know about it. And so, like, I think there are times in our lives where we've all thought, sure, would be nice if I could earn a little extra money from home, that it wouldn't upset my family's schedule, all that kind of stuff. And so I just want to encourage you to, think that if we're able to do this, that maybe it could work for you too. We've got all these systems and training in place. There's an abundance of resources. So if it's something that you want it to work for you, it definitely can. It's something that you can decide how much or how little you want to work, how fast or slow you want to grow. There isn't a set path you have to take. So it's just really flexible. But like we've all shared, it's done so much for our lives, more than just the fitness side and more than just the financial side. But there's so many things that it can do for your life.
Okay, am I up or?
I think this one is me, and then you're after this. I know I have my notes here, Scott. Couldn't remember. So why join us? Because the team that you join matters. You can't just hop around and change teams at any time. When you sign up as a partner, you are committed to that team. And it does matter, because you don't want to pick somebody that's just kind of dabbling in it for a little while and then they might disappear on you, because it just makes it a lot harder to get really going. And as we shared when we all introduced ourselves, we've all been in this for a long time. And I think that can show you that we are committed to this. It is something that has become a part of who we are. It's something that we would do whether we're getting paid for it or not. And so you can trust that we're going to be here to mentor you every step of the way. Our team has been a 7-time elite team, which is one of the top 0.2% of the company. We have the mentorship coming up that we're doing monthly. It's something that we're always growing, always tweaking things, working to do things better. We have our community. The culture that we have is just really, really good. I know that most teams are not this way. We are so supportive of each other, and just it just feels like a family. There's no negativity, no cattiness. It's just one of those things that's really special in a group of women, because you could it's hard to find, and most of us are Christians, and that's a really big deal for a lot of us. So having that aspect that also just puts a lot more meaning behind what we do. So that's why joining our team specifically would be a blessing for you.
Mhm. Okay, what does a coach do? But I have to add one thing on that. I was just talking with my daughter-in-law, and she went on a trip, and she's with girls, and she was like, there was no drama. And I immediately thought of our group, because we've been on lots of trips, and we just really do, like Andrea said, have a really special thing. But okay, so back to my assignment. What does a coach do? One of the things that each one of us would say that we love about what we get to do here is our number one job is to take care of ourselves. And it is so great. People come on all the time and say, man, I'm having a hard time being consistent. It's hard. Well, if you start trying to do it and you're wanting to help someone else, it like ups your percentage like 100-fold. All of a sudden, like, it is not so hard to get that workout done, and to do those things. And then we start sharing them, and you start encouraging other women, and that is when your heart just explodes, because you think you're just going along, just sharing a little bit. In the beginning, that's kind of real. Actually, it was really hard for me, just getting out of that box and losing that bondage of what other people think about and what they care about, and just, looking for what is it that I need to do? What is it that the Lord is calling me to do? And when you start doing that, and then you're encouraging other people, and they say, man, you helped me. I still remember one of them. You helped me just to get out off the couch and get up and move. Well, okay, great. And then to have that as your job, I just cannot think of a better job. So that is what we do. And we share that. We share maybe our workouts, we share our nutrition, just maybe a little snippet of what we're eating that day. We might share a quote, a motivational quote, a little bit as a job of what we do. And just really our job is to encourage and inspire other women. My team, I have a mission that says we're growing a team of leaders who create hope in others to be healthy inside and out through Christ. And every time when I sit down to work, I think about that quote, and I think about what's most important. And it's the coolest thing, because when you change a mom, you change a family. When you change a family, you change generations. And each one of us can think of one of our clients, one of our teammates. I'm thinking of one in particular that she lost 100 pounds, and it's a whole lifestyle change now for her whole family. And she broke a family bondage of obesity. I mean, and that is huge. And not only that, you know, so many of us just in our confidence and in our passion for life. So I think I covered everything. That's pretty much what a coach does. And it's just a great thing that we have here. And so it starts with you and inspiring others, creating an environment for them to thrive. So we each have a community, a smaller group. Some of us do it together and some of our own, some on BOD, some on Facebook, some on a little thread. But we work, you know, one-on-one, especially with our new people, with a group, with our team, and always checking in on them, you know, how can I help you? But it's all laid out is the beautiful part. You know, our body has the nutrition videos. We just have to point them to the right place. So it's not like you have to have a nutrition degree. It's not like you have to know exactly how to run a business. You know, it's really about just stepping forward and learning little by little. And we each just, we guide you in that. And as a group, like Andrea mentioned, and Stacy actually, that our mentorship, you know, we guide you on, okay, do this, do that, and just taking steps and helping other people.
Mhm. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we earn. This is a real job, so we want to hear about the income side of it. And there are a couple of ways that we earn income. And the first is something that you could start today. And whether you decide to build a team or not, and by the way, building a team literally just means having two people come alongside you. It doesn't have to be this huge, gigantic thing. But even by yourself, you can start helping people and you would earn commission on the different products and programs that you're helping people get started with. Depending on what it is you're helping them get started with, the commission can range between 20 and 35%, I believe. This is our most popular thing to get people started with. In fact, if you're here, there's a good chance you got started with this because it literally not only gives you everything you need to be successful, it's also the most economic way to get started. So with each of these, you earn about $70 in commission. So from there, it's just kind of math. If you help 5 people get started with that, you know, what would $350 extra dollars a month do for your family? If you help 10 people get started that, what would 700 mean to your family? The second way, and by the way, there is a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen. And anytime we talk about income, I actually really like this income disclaimer because this is a real job and you do have to work at it. And it says that we do not guarantee any level of success or income, but each coach's income is dependent on our own individual efforts, diligence, and skill. So, like I mentioned, we have the retail commission. Digital commission is also kind of in that same way of that anybody can get started with that just on their own. As people like have BOD renewals come in, you would again get commission on those. Some of the way the more long-term success that you'll find with this from an income perspective is to grow a team. And like I said, that starts when you have just 2 people come alongside you and you start having what's called a team cycle bonus. Literally, you're rewarded for how well you're helping other people. That's what this whole business is. I love how it's set up because it's nobody is just earning income because they've been doing this longer or have more people on their team. It's literally about helping each person to be able to help others and pass that and pay it forward. There's another one on there called matching bonus. This is basically a percentage of your team's team cycle bonuses. So again, the more that you're helping them, the more they're helping other people, the more income you're going to earn. A couple more that I want to mention because I mentioned that now is a great time to get started with Body. The group volume bonus, you don't need to really understand what that means other than this is new and everyone is on equal level with this, whether you've been with the company 10 minutes or 10 years. Our group volume bonuses all started as of December 2023. And so this is just a way that it kind of equalizes the opportunity for everybody. Another one that we have quarterly leadership bonus pools as you grow in rank. But one specific that they have added this year is for people more on the newer side of being a partner. In fact, I don't even think that the 5 of us qualify for this anymore. So they have made it so that it's helping people get started. That's really the basics of it. But if you are a partner, you actually have access to all of these streams of compensation.
Okay, so my favorite part is the objections because we all have them. The biggest one is I don't want to be salesy. And that was mine. I didn't know anything about this, but when someone said, oh, that's network marketing, that's a pyramid scheme. Number one, that is like the biggest false. It's definitely false. It's actually illegal to be a pyramid scheme. Like, we are not set up that way at all. We go over more of these objections more in detail. So I'm just going to hit the highlights for the purpose of this call. But in the mentorship, we will actually go over how to kind of work through some of these objections that I'm going to mention here. But the number one is like, I don't want to be salesy. We never, ever, I don't know if you get them sometimes, but we never, ever teach cold messaging. That is like the worst thing ever. This business is built on connection and relationship building, and that's how you grow. And when I started, I did not have an Instagram. I only had 100 Facebook friends. Helping you with those early wins, you know, we don't expect you to have a big following or like this big presence on social media, because that's another objection. You know, people don't feel like they know enough. But you know, when you start to build relationships, I can tell you most of my customers now come from Instagram, and now we're friends. Like, I get to know these women online. I have never met them before, and it takes the whole sales thing out of there. The other thing, in my opinion, being a nurse, and this kind of goes back to me joining this, like, I was so focused on the reactive side of healthcare that when I was talking about this type of health and being proactive, it didn't feel salesy at all. So we teach you that in the mentorship. So I don't want you to feel like this is a salesy thing, because network marketing does have a bad name right now. It always has, actually. I mean, people don't really take it seriously because they think it is all about cold messaging and knocking on doors and having parties, and we're none of that. So that's just a real brief overview of that. The other one is, I get this sometimes. I used to get it a lot in the beginning, but I can't do what you do because I'm not fit. I'm not at my goal weight. Well, that's a good thing because I know for me, and I know for probably a lot of people, you're not going to go join somebody like that big high popularity influencer that you might see on social media. I can't even think of one now, but let's just call her Barbell Barbie. I don't know. But she, you know, you're not going to go join her. You're going to join somebody that you can relate to. So take that part out of it. In fact, we want you to start building the business as you're going through the journey, because to me, I enjoy being in the trenches with my clients. So we're always on a journey, because it's never, you know, we're not reaching a destination. We're going to enjoy the process. So don't worry about that. The other one is you don't have time. When I started this business, I was working 50 hours a week, maybe more. I had a very high powered, like, stressful job where I had a phone that I brought home. I was on call all the time, getting phone calls. And I built this to very successful for me anyway. Like, I never thought I would get as far as I did while I was in that position. And it got me to where I'm at now, which thankfully, you know, because I had time constraints, I was able to be very intentional with my time, because we all know what happened with COVID, but, you know, I ended up actually having some health issues after that through these last 4 years. And if I was still working full time, like, I'm so thankful for the work that I put in and was very intentional back before that happened, because it had allowed me to kind of focus more on my health while also still building this business. So equate it to like a job or like a project. Like, you're going to give yourself if your project's due 6 weeks from now, you're probably going to wait till about week 5, maybe, if you're a procrastinator, to start working on it, versus if you have to have that project done in a week, you're going to figure out how to get it done. So we teach you that in the mentorship. And then just a few others. Spousal support's a big one. I did not really have this issue, although I think my husband was thinking, I don't know what you're doing, but okay. But there is a very successful coach. Her name is Melanie Mitro. She was top coach for our company 4 years in a row. And she talks about this quite a bit, about how her husband did not want her doing this, did not support it, called it a pyramid scheme. He did everything he could to derail her from being to doing this. And then she became the top coach. And basically, she showed him. She was very, purposeful in how she ran her business. And now she is super duper successful. And she just proved him completely wrong. So sometimes you just have to show your spouse the money, so to speak, and she'll tell you that. But you can definitely kind of build on that. But communication's a big thing. And we will talk more about that too, depending, on people's, their different situations, because it is kind of hard if people are kind of looking from the outside in, what are you doing? So we will explain all of that. And then I did touch on this a little bit already, but no big following. Like a lot of times people will say, well, I'm not really in the social media world. We teach you that. We teach you how to do social media, when to do social media, and you will start to, as you do it, you'll feel more confident. So don't feel like you need that. I didn't even have an Instagram, like I said, when I started, and I still was able to make this successful. So those are some of the objections, but like I said, we'll go over a little bit more in the mentorship.
All right, so I got to talk to you guys about like what you do to get started and like what you're all getting. And the best part about this is basically you start exactly like you would start a customer or challenger or whatever you would want to call them. We all probably call them different a little bit, but you start out with a total solution pack. So for $200, this can be like a good thing and a bad thing, because basically for $200, you can start a legit business with all the write-offs and benefits of a business, but without the brick and mortar costs and products and stuff like that. So for $200, you get a year of your workouts, you get your 2 different nutrition plans. And what I love about that is like we all thrive differently. Some of us, like I said, I have an eating disorder past. And so following the container system is really hard for me because it kind of brings me back to that mentality of having to restrict. But for some people, they want to know exactly how much to eat, and they want recipes that show them exactly how to make things that fit the containers. And that's exactly what they need to succeed. So we've got both of those nutrition plans. We've got an intuitive one and a color-coded one, which is amazing. You can switch back and forth. You can decide which one works for you. I think all of us kind of use a little bit from here and there because we learn stuff both ways. We also have mindset stuff. I forgot to say in the workouts, we have thousands of different workouts. So you can be somebody who just picks a workout every day, or we have programs. Programs are life-changing to me. I need to know that I need to get this many workouts in this week to get the best results possible. I want to be able to pick a program that's muscle building or fat loss or whatever it may be. And you have all those different ones, and you have every different type of workout. And then on the nutrition plans, you can upgrade to also a gut protocol as well. So if you're someone that gets bloated or, has digestive issues, skin issues, trouble losing weight, like that might be a great upgrade for you. And then we also have mindset. And so if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't believe that you can do things, you're not going to succeed. So this has kind of been a newer part of our platform, and it's really been life-changing for our customers and ourselves. So you get all of that for $200. And if you're a customer right now and you've already signed up that way, you can just upgrade to a coach. So it's great that you can get all of that and have all the tools that you need to succeed, and also your customers help your customers to succeed as well.
So then the question kind of just becomes, why not you? And so before we hop off, and I think we're running out of time, I think we have a couple of minutes. So if we have questions, we will get back with you with your questions. But before you hop off, and you start to think to yourself, well, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have time. I'm not at my weight goals. I wasn't either when I started. Before you do that, think more about what do you want in the next 12 to 24 months? Like really envision what your goals are, envision what your desires are. Do you love to travel? Do you want to be able to stay home with your kids? Do you want to be able to go up and do school activities? Do you want to retire when your kids finish high school or finish college? Do you want to pay off debt? These are all things that you can do with Body, but you have to take that first leap of faith. And so, like we all said, you may not start off knowing what you're doing. You may just know that you're ready to do something new and you're ready to help other people. And that's really what we have for you. So here's what will happen once you sign up with us. You will get a welcome email. You will get added to our larger team page that we were talking about, and you will be able to start our mentorship, which will begin on June 3rd. We'll have a kickoff call. In the meantime, we'll show you how to get ready. Like we said, this is all done on your pace and what works for you, but you'll have all the tools and community to be able to get started whenever you're ready to do so. So if you're ready, reach out to the person who invited you tonight and say, hey, I'm ready. Let's do this. If you're watching the recording, then just let us know. And like I said, that new mentorship will be starting on the 3rd. So you'll want to reach out before then. But if you have any questions, let us know. And otherwise, I think we have like just a few moments left here. So I'm going to say good night. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Night, guys.
Bye.